Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And on this Cricket Happening show, I'll be talking about Sri Lanka actually winning the first T20 match of the two-match T20 series against Bangladesh today. They won it. I would say there was not much problem for them. They won the match by 6 wickets. Kushal Pereira actually leading the way for them with a very good knock of 77. So that is something. And then, as you know, tomorrow the Indian Premier League 2017 kicks off with the defending champions Sunrisers Hyderabad taking on the Royal Challengers Bangalore in the first match of the IPL. As you know, Royal Challengers Bangalore are their resources are totally depleted with no Kohli, no AB de Villiers, and no Rahul, and these are the three players who actually were the top run getters, the top three run getters in last year's IPL. So this, you could really say how badly it could affect the Royal Challengers. So I think Chris Gayle will have a big job on hand to take the onus on himself, and one only hopes that Chris Gayle comes up with all the fireworks that is needed for Royal Challengers Bangalore to emerge victorious. So that is something. And also, since the IPL is coming, yesterday we have a look at the other four teams, and now today we'll have a look at the other three teams that are competing in the Indian Premier League 2017. Rising Pune Super Giants has a new captain. It's no Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It's a new captain, the Rising Pune Super Giants, which we'll be talking about. It is Ajinkya Rahane who is the new captain of the Rising Pune Super Giants. Gujarat Lions is another team, and Kings 11 Punjab, which is also has a new captain, Glenn Maxwell. So we'll be talking about that. So, but first I will be starting off. So probably I'll be going on a brief manner here. First, I'm going to be starting off with the Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh match, and also when I mean, this was the first time that when the two teams went to toss, Mashrafe Murtaza, the Bangladeshi captain, had a surprise for everybody where he announced his retirement from T20 cricket. But nevertheless, he bowled a very good line today. He also picked up 2 wickets, a decent line, I would say. And so just talking about this, Bangladesh batted first, but they were never allowed to really. It all started off with Lasith Malinga, and for Bangladesh it was Mohammad Saifuddin who was actually making his debut. But Lasith Malinga, the experienced campaigner, was the one who delivered the breakthrough, and with only second ball of the Bangladeshi innings, he got a ball. The first ball itself was a wonderful one from Lasith Malinga, showing all his experience, where he actually got the ball to just pass outside the off stump. But the next one was really a swinging delivery, which actually went on to hit the timber of Tamim Iqbal. And what a big wicket that was, because Tamim Iqbal is in some good form, and he was walking back after banging a knot against Malinga, and Bangladesh was 0 for 1. Soumya Sarkar decided that he will be going over the top, so he started going after Nuwan Kulashekara and Vikram Sanjaya too. But then it was Sabir Rahman who came in. He contributed 16, and in the process he got himself run out in a very odd manner. Instead of running straight, he tried to go past. He tried to go across, and in the process he fell a victim as Sekuge Prasanna hit the bullseye. Sabir Rahman was got run out for 16 of 14 Ws, 2 fours. Soumya Sarkar was the one who was really pushing this Bangladeshi squad along with some nice hits down the ground, and he was also hitting it over the top. But Vikram Sanjaya was the man who picked up his wicket, and he forced Soumya Sarkar to hold out to long on. He was gone for 29 of 20 balls, 3 fours and 1 6. Mushfiqur Rahim trying to paddle a delivery over the wicketkeeper, in fact missed it, and the ball went on to hit the stumps. Gunaratne was the bowler. Mushfiqur Rahim was gone. Bowled by Gunaratne for 8 of 9 deliveries with 1 4. Shakib Al Hassan also left cheaply out to the bowling of Sikh Prasanna for 11 of 15 deliveries. It was only thanks to Mossadegh Hussain and Mahmudullah who really steadied the ship. 82 for 5 in 12 overs. So it was a matter of survival because they had to play out the entire 20 overs. And it was Mossadegh Hussain who really showed some sort of real dedication, I thought, because when I've really seen Mossadegh Hussain really plunder the ball. I mean, he really goes for the big hits. But Mossadegh Hussain, I thought he really played well. He also showed that he has an other side of his game as well, really understanding the situation. Mahmudullah, the experienced campaigner, was with him, and both nurtured the Bangladeshi innings to a score of 155 for 6 of 20 overs. Mossadegh Hussain was not around 34 of 30, double his 3 fours. Mahmudullah contributing 31, and once again Malinga coming back at the end of his spell, when he once again slipped out that real ripping Yorker of his to rip the stumps of Mahmudullah for 31 of 26 3 fours. Probably Lasith Malinga has lost his pace, but definitely that sort of the cunningness is definitely there as to where to bowl exactly. Mushraf Mumtaz was not out on 9, and so this was his last T20 match, probably one more T20 I suppose. Not out on 9 of 5 balls with 1-4, and Bangladesh, as I said, they were nurtured to a score of 155 for 6 by the pair of Mossadegh Hussain and Mahmudullah. So looking at the bowling here, so 155 for 6 of 20 overs, still a decent score, one thought. Lasith Malinga 4 overs 2 for 38. Kuleshekara 4 overs was costly for 44, so he definitely he really leaked a lot of runs. Vikram Sanjay was impressive, 4 overs 1 made him 1 for 24. Asila Gunaratne bowled 4 overs 1 for 24. Sakuge Prasanna also bowled well, 4 overs 1 for 19. Now the turn came for the Sri Lankans to actually chase this, and Kushal Perera and Taranga were the openers, and Upal Taranga, as you know, is the captain of the team too. Got Kushal Perera, well, normally one knows that Kushal Perera is a very aggressive player, but initially he bided his time. He did not really go for the strokes right from the word go. He decided to stay put and really faced a few balls, probably sussed up the pitch very well, and then we had the explosion from Kushal Perera. It was very mature of him to have done that. So there was a different angle, because normally Kushal Perera is someone who really swishes at the ball and try to flashes at the ball which are bowled. But here Kushal Perera had a different tactic here today, and he decided to bide his time. But once the score was moving at snail's pace in the opening overs, but later on Kushal Perera took over and started slamming boundaries with real regularity. At the other end, Upal Taranga was really playing a very waiting role, but nevertheless Upal Taranga was also very strokeful, as suddenly the partnership really took good advantage of the power play, and the score sat at 65. They had added 65 for the first wicket in 6.5 overs. So that will really tell you that it was a good batting. In 41 balls, reached 65. It was all in the thanks made to Kushal Perera, who was hammering the bowlers for boundaries. And also Kushal Perera, one has to say, the way that he was batting was not, I mean, it was not the old Kushal Perera that we know, who actually was trying to hit at every ball. It was not like that. It was something different. So it was a different dimension that one was seeing of Perera, where probably he has really learned his lessons well, and he was really trying to hit the ball into the gaps, especially with power and also a very good sense of timing. So Perera and Taranga then posted 65 for the first wicket, so they were doing a good job there. And then the first wicket fell when Taranga was the victim of the bowling of Mushraf Mumtaz for 24 of 23 balls, 4 fours. Munawira left early as he was caught and bowled by Mushraf Mumtaz for 8 of 6 balls with 1-4. But Perera was the one who was the common factor who was staying at the crease. And Gunaratne was run out for 17 of 18 balls with 1-4. But definitely it didn't matter, because Kushal Perera had stroked his way to 77 of 53 balls with 9 fours and 1 6. And he had already taken Sri Lanka very close to victory at 147. But that was the time Taskin Hamid plucked up his wicket for 77. And finally, Sakuge Prasanna, as you know, he really likes to have a real whack at the ball, and he did not waste any time in clattering an unbeaten 22 of 12 deliveries, 1 4 and 2 sixes. Pereira was not out on 4, and Sri Lanka actually won the match by 6 wickets, thus winning the first T20 match of the two-match series 1-0 to take a psychological advantage here with only one more T20 to come. As far as the bowling was concerned, I think Mashrafe Mortaza, who was good for overs 2 for 32, probably played his last match today. Taskin Emirates 2.5 overs 1 for 33 was very costly. Mahmudullah one was really at a loss to see that Mahmudullah bowled only 2 overs for 6 runs, and after that one did not see Mahmudullah. One did not know what was really the idea behind that. 3 overs for 24 for Mustafizur Rahman. Shakib Hasan 3 overs none for 29. Saifuddin on his debut bowled 3 overs for 23. And Mustaq Hussain bowled 1 over for 7 runs. The man of the match going to Kushal Pereira for his knock of 77. And definitely that will be something that Sri Lanka will be happy about, because Kushal Pereira is a talented cricketer, and one really saw a measured approach coming in from Kushal Pereira, and that was really good news. Well, so from here, now as I said, tomorrow the Indian Premier League 2017 is bound to kick off, and as yesterday I did a 4-team, I did sort of have a look at some 4 teams yesterday, and today just continuing that, we are having a look at the Pune Super Giants. Now Pune Super Giants, as you would remember, that Mahendra Singh Dhoni was the captain, but tomorrow, in this IPL 2017, Mahendra Singh Dhoni has been relieved of his captaincy, so I'm sure he has less tension and he will be in a more relaxed frame of mind, need not worry about anything. But I'm sure Mahendra Singh Dhoni would be a good mentor to the whole team, because he is one who can really spot the weaknesses, and he also knows the strengths of the players, and this is something that he would be sharing, in fact, with Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith is the new captain of the Pune Super Giants. Even the name has been changed, I was told. The name it's known as the All-Star Super Giants. We call it the Super Giants, Rising Pune Super Giants. And Ajinkya Rahane and Mayank Agarwal will open the innings, and as you know, Ajinkya Rahane and Mayank Agarwal have always given good starts to the Pune Super Giants, so that will be interesting. And Duplessis, it's a very strong team, I would say. Duplessis is there in the mix. Then they have Stephen Smith, who is in some prolific form, I would say. And Ben Stokes is the big addition to the team. And Ben Stokes, as you know, what a marvelous player he is, and what a game changer he can be. And then they have Dhoni, so they really have some firepower in the form of Ben Stokes and MS Dhoni. Rajat Bhatia is a very useful contributor, as we all know. Shardul Thakur is a good bowler. He's been knocking on the doors of Indian international cricket. Ankit Sharma, Ashok Dinda has also been a very good competitor, and Imran Tahir. So definitely the rising Pune Super Giants are looking like really rising, no doubt about it. And they still have other batsmen like Usman Khwaja, Parijit, Ankush Bains, Manoj Tiwari, Ishwar Pandey. Bowlers, just talk about the bowlers. They have Pandey, Saurabh Kumar, Adam Zampa, Jaskaran Singh, Deepak Chahar, Jaydev Unadkar. Lockie Ferguson is the new addition in the team. Lockie Ferguson, as one has seen in New Zealand, that he really was bowling at 150 clicks on a very consistent manner. It will be interesting to see how Lockie Ferguson goes on Indian wickets. So that would be really something that very keen to watch. And then they have all-rounders consist of Dan Christian, Rahul Tripathi and Milind Tandon. So that is as far as the rising Pune Super Giants is concerned. The only difference being that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not the captain, and the captaincy will be done by Stephen Smith. And you know, Stephen Smith is also a very successful captain, as we all know. Now, the next team that I'm going to look at is the Gujarat Lions. And Gujarat Lions, the captain, Suresh Raina, and as you know, he had a nice time in the last IPL. He scored a lot of runs, Suresh Raina. But look at that opening slot of Gujarat Lions. It really packs a very heavy punch in the form of openers Brendan McCullum and Dwayne Smith. Just imagine if both these players really get going, it would be absolute murder there for the bowlers. And then they have Arun Finch following him, Suresh Raina himself, Dinesh Karthik was amongst the runs as well, and he's also in some good form in the other trophy. Devdar Trophy has done well as well. Ishan Kishan, James Faulkner, another all-rounder, Praveen Kumar, a very wily bowler. Shadab Jakati, who always does very well in IPL. Dhaval Kulkarni, of late, one has seen that Dhaval Kulkarni is a much improved bowler and he could be quite a proposition. And he also had a wonderful IPL 2016, as one would remember. And then they have Shivil Kaushik. Now, Shivil Kaushik also it's a bowler to watch out for. The reason being that Shivil Kaushik has that he's a sort of a left-arm wrist spinner, so it's like a Chinaman bowler, one could say. So, and Chinaman bowlers, as you know, is a rare breed. But now one is seeing that there are a lot of Chinaman bowlers emerging as far as India is concerned, which is pretty good to see. So Shivil Kaushik will be keenly watched as well. And there are some reserve players as far as the team is concerned. There's Jason Roy, who's a very exciting player. Chirag Suri, who is the first recruit who has been, for the first time, one would be, if at all Chirag Suri plays, he will be the first United Arab Emirates player to have been played in the IPL. So he's a new recruit from the United Arab Emirates, Chirag Suri. Jaydev Shah, Pratham Singh. The bowlers Andrew Tai, Manpreet Goni, Munaf Patel, not a forgotten bowler, one could say. Pradeep Sangwan, Nathu Singh, Basil Thampi, who is pretty quick with his pace, and I'm told he sometimes hits 140 clicks on a very consistent basis. Basil Thampi from Kerala, and Shelly Shaurya, Tejas Baroka, Wayne Bravo, Shubham Agarwal, Ravindra Jadeja, who is not there, as you know. That is a big question mark. I mean, it's really crippled them, because Ravindra Jadeja in his present form could have made a whale of a difference, according to me, and one is really sorry to see that Ravindra Jadeja won't be part of this Gujarat Lions, which could have really strengthened the team, looking at the form that he is. And as I said, Basil Thampi is a very talented bowler. He's pretty quick, and I'm told he's from Kerala, and he actually bowls consistently at 140 clicks. Now, the last team that I'm going to look at is going to be the Kings XI Punjab team. Now, Kings XI Punjab team has a new captain as well. Glenn Maxwell is the captain of the Kings XI Punjab team. The Kings XI Punjab team consists of Manan Vora. Manan Vora, as you know, is a very aggressive opening bat. And then they have Riddhiman Shah. I'm sure his confidence would be sky high now, because he has already cemented his spot in the Indian team, and he has been doing well as well. So Riddhiman Shah, as you know, he did very well in the last IPL as well. Morgan, so they really have some firepower here. The Kings XI Punjab, they have Morgan, they have Maxwell, they have David Miller, Marcus Stoinis is there, Akshar Patel, who has done well, Casey Karyappa, Sandeep Sharma, and you know, Sandeep Sharma is such a wonderful bowler, and Mohit Sharma. And also watch out for this new bloke by the name T. Natarajan, who hails from Tamil Nadu. And T. Natarajan, I'm told, he actually is a left-arm pace bowler in the same mold as Mustafizur Rahman of Bangladesh. He believes in bowling those real cutters and making those subtle variations in his pace. So it will be interesting to watch how T. Natarajan goes. And T. Natarajan is someone to watch, I suppose. So as I said, he's a left-arm pace bowler, so it will be good to see. And then they still have plenty in reserve as well. They have batsmen in the form of Sean Marsh, Hashim Amla, Marin Guptill, Arman Jafar, Rinku Singh. The bowlers Swapnil Singh, Pardeep Sahu, Rahul Tewatia, Varun Arun. Not to be, I mean, probably due to his fitness, he's not able to really get his place cemented in the Indian team. Anrit Singh, Matt Henry, Ishan Sharma. Wicketkeeper, Nikhil Nayak, and all-rounders, they still have Darren Sammy. You know what damage he can do, and what a tremendous contributor he is to any team in the world. Darren Sammy and Gurkirat Singh, another electric fielder in the park, and also and to boot, he has his batting and bowling that also comes to the fore. So really, it's a really, so this is just a sort of, as I said, I was not doing any preview. It's just a sort of just have a brief look. And as I've already said, that tomorrow is the curtain raiser of the Indian Premier League 2017. The first match is going to be played at the host Sunrisers Hyderabad, who are hosting the Royal Challengers Bangalore in their hometown in Hyderabad. And I'm sure that could be, I mean, Sunrisers Hyderabad, clearly one could probably say that they are the favorites, and the reason being with the top 3 run getters in last year's IPL 2016, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, and AB de Villiers not playing due to injury, I would really put my hat down to Sunrisers Hyderabad. Sunrisers Hyderabad would be fancied to win the curtain raiser, the first match of the Indian Premier League 2017 tomorrow against Royal Challengers Bangalore. Well, if Royal Challengers Bangalore definitely want to change the equation, they do have an opportunity, and that should be coming in the form of Chris Gayle, who could really, it could be thunder and lightning. If thunder and lightning follows in the form of Chris Gayle, then I think they could bail themselves out and probably cause a surprise tomorrow by beating Sunrisers Hyderabad. But may the best team win, and as I said, one can't wait enough to have a look at the beginning of the Indian Premier League 2017 with 2 titans clashing, Sunrisers Hyderabad, but definitely Royal Challengers Bangalore, crippled because of those 3 absentees, wouldn't be called titans, but nevertheless it should be a very good game of cricket, which will be coming up in the first match of the Indian Premier League 2017 tomorrow in Hyderabad, and I'm sure crowds will be flocking the Hyderabad stadium, and I'm sure they will have immense support. Thanks for your company, and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. It's good night.